Apponomics is the kind of book that the title says it all, really. It's about being the insider's guide to a billion-dollar app business. And the insider's guide, I think, is key here because not anyone can write a book, I'm not saying that, but what makes this book really valuable is the insights that are in it from the experts, from people within Mobi, but also the app developers themselves, from other analysts, from other people in the apps ecosystem. We have cross-platform providers, so we're really presenting this as a book to make your app into a business. And I think that's critical because there are a lot of app developers, particularly indie app developers, who are saying, I have a great app, I can't monetize it, I can't make a living at it. This is the type of book to say, this equips you, this arms you to go out and make money with your app, to make a business out of your hobby if you're an indie app developer. For other app companies further up in the chain, it's saying, okay, you have that fantastic app, but where's your staying power? I mean, the cycle for many apps is maybe a matter of months, if you're lucky. So how do you actually build a sustainable business? And the reason all of this is really important at the end of the day is, yes, it is about equipping app developers, but much more importantly, it's about creating an economy, because if you look at what's going on out there, and I also, for example, have worked on the EurApp project with the European Commission about stimulating the European app economy. It's a question of, if you have an app economy, you have a healthy economy. So we need to equip app developers, app companies with what they need to make a sustainable business. Otherwise, this is going to turn into perhaps a bubble. We won't be here next year because it'll all be gone. And we won't have done our job, because if it's about educating the ecosystem, then that's almost, as it were, it's almost a mission to do that. And luckily, we have the material to do that. I'm very excited about some of the content in the book that's not necessarily about the trend, that's sort of the Uber trend, the next really big thing coming. Because if you look at how the industry is shaping up, it's the approach before of showing an ad even to the right person at the right time is not enough. It really has to be something that complements the app experience. So I'm a great fan of the final chapter in the book, which was incidentally the most difficult to write because it's about the future of the industry. But I'm a great fan of that chapter because we're talking about what are the signals out there from everything. I mean, and we're not just talking about the app, we're talking about the whole the universe of signals, be it an iBeacon, be it location data, social graph, with paying attention, of course, to personal privacy issues here. You don't just tap the social graph, but how to use all this information to create a really engaging app experience, because it's going to be that engagement that gets people to come back, which then turns your idea into a business. So that's my personal favorite, but I think currently what might be the most valuable for readers of the book, for companies that use this to create a business strategy, is really understanding very clearly the stages of their app lifecycle and what to do at each stage. And also, very importantly, what to do depending on the category of your app. So yes, a lot of this is about gaming apps, and games are the most popular category right now, bar none. But if you look ahead, there's the opportunities for gaming apps that are around education, which we call edutainment, right? There's utilities, there's social apps. So I think that the trend is that we're going to have a lot more apps across a lot more categories, and we're going to need to look at how to make certain these apps succeed, and it's different for every category, and it's different for the stage of your app. So that's another important point. You don't just, launch it and forget it, set it and forget it, I have an app. You have to think about the stages of the life cycle. So you really need business strategy, and that's why I'm particularly proud to have worked on this book with the Mobi team, because it is that type of book. It is a book that says, this is what you need to do at every stage of your business. And I think that that is invaluable, particularly for app developers just starting out. The good news is that there are data signals out there that can help you improve your experience, improve, the loyalty, boost the loyalty of your customer, keep them using your app, using it frequently, using it often, which is the end game. You can't give them an app that they delete. You have to have an app that they engage with, all right? So how do you do that? You have to do that by knowing enough about them to almost be a concierge, to almost predict behavior without being creepy about it. This is not behavioral targeting the way we know this. This is very exciting because it's reading the data signals to say, for example, I have an app user and he's a great app user. He's using my app. He's using it a lot. Do I even need to show him apps? Maybe because he's sort of my gold customer, you know, I need to treat him differently. Maybe I need to show certain types of app users, certain types of advertising, or certain types of marketing. You know, it doesn't always have to be advertising. There can be native apps, which are native ads rather, which look a lot like the ad and are complementary to the experience. Or you know, what is my app user telling me? They're saying maybe I get to a certain level, I have a certain habit with the app. To understand their behavior within the app, which you get again through big data, through the signals, through understanding all of this information, you can then adapt to your user. It's almost like one-on-one marketing, except of course you can't do that, but the impact is really phenomenal, because if you treat people as individuals, then they will feel as if you are listening to them, which I think is essential in our economy right now. You know, we're a wired up social world, and if you don't listen to my feedback, I'm going to get upset, delete you, or think we don't have that agreement that I thought we had when I downloaded the app. So that in a nutshell is that. That's the good news. The bad news is, however, you have to learn about this. And and to be honest, you don't have access to all of these signals on your own. Some of these signals will be coming from social networks. They're getting certain signals about where people interact with apps and how. Then there's location data. Then there's data from Amazon. You know, what did they purchase here? How does that link into their attitude and work and interaction with the app? How do I get all of that information to get that phenomenal, traditional 360-degree view of my customer in order to keep them delighted, keep them coming back for more? That's the challenge, and that's what we address in this book. Apponomics, of course, has just launched, but the social buzz around it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm really pleased. I'm very social focused. You know, it's a female thing, right? I have my community. I watch my Twitter. I watch Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that. You know, I'm getting a lot of response there. I'm seeing a lot going on around in Mobi, in the Twitter sphere, the blogosphere. Great reviews on the book, and more to come. And also what I'm particularly pleased with is that people who know the book and who know the work on it, they're coming to me and saying, you know, this is a fantastic book. This is almost a textbook. Could there be course material based on this book? You know, could we teach people with this book? And I'm flattered by that, because that means then I've done my job, we've done our job, because it is that type of book. It can be a course book. It can go out to the conferences and the app meetups around the world and say, here's what you need. You're a serious business person. We respect you for that. Now we're going to equip you to really be a success, because when you're a success, the economy is a success. So in a nutshell, I'm really pleased with what's happened so far, but I'm looking forward to a lot more of it. We've just started, and the momentum is phenomenal.